Hello everyone, Nick the DM here with some more March of the Modrons. Our topic for today is my inspiration for this month. We're talking about the Great Modron March. The Great Modron March is an event that takes place once every grand cycle. A grand cycle is the amount of time it takes the largest gear on Regulus to do 17 full rotations. Each of these rotations is called a standard cycle and takes 17 years, which means that it is a grand total of 289 years for each grand cycle. This is also the amount of time calculated to the millisecond that it took the Modrons to construct Regulus. The march itself starts in Mechanus and travels through all 16 outer planes in the Great Wheel cosmology and the gate towns in the Outlands, as I will list now. This order comes from the Planescape adventure The Great Modron March. Starting from Mechanus, the Modrons then go to Automata, Fortitude, Arcadia, Mount Celestia, Excelsior, Tradegate, Bitopia, Elysium, Ecstasy, Faunal, the Beastlands, Arborea, Sylvania, Glorium, Ysgard, Limbo, Chaos, Bedlam, Pandemonium, the Abyss, Plaguemort, Cursed, Carcery, the Grey Waste, also known as Hades, Hopeless, Torch, Gehenna, Bator, Ribcage, Regis, Acheron, and then finally back to Mechanus. While many areas the march travels through prepare for the event, some places may not be aware of the path the Modrons will take. Despite their lawful nature, Modrons cause much chaos in their travels. They believe their directions are the highest form of law and will therefore march through populated areas even at the cost of trampling towns, buildings, and unfortunate creatures that don't stay off their path. While the path generally stays consistent from one march to the next, it can change per instructions from higher-ranking Modrons before the march begins based on results from the last march. Once given their path, however, the Modrons will follow it without question. Many Modrons do not return from this march, often killed by creatures of the lower planes attempting to stop them passing through, or creatures capturing Modrons for experiments and entertainment. This is where a majority of rogue Modrons will come from. We'll touch on those later. Why this march takes place no one truly knows, other than perhaps Primus himself. Some speculate that the Modrons return to report the progress of the Modron invasion. Others say the reports are about the state of the planes. And a few individuals have reported seeing Modrons repair planar rifts or closing planar portals as they march, which seems logical considering the influence a creature from the far realms had in the Modrons' creation story that we covered last video. Another theory for the reason behind this march is adapting the Modrons to the other planes. Scholars who believe this theory say that having lesser Modrons be exposed to the elements of the lower planes and seeing how they survive lets Primus see how he can prepare Modrons in the future or even evolve them so they can be resistant to the outer planes. This, of course, is only speculation, for only Primus truly knows the reason for the march. We are given the exact number of troops that go on this specific march in Planescape The Great Modron March. Now, an interesting thing is that this is a out-of-sync march caused by a big event that I will probably touch on in a later video, but these ranks are specifically for this one march. They may vary. The ranks go 1 Quinton, 1 Hexton, 1 Septon, 4 Octons, 4 Nonatons, 5 Decatons, 50 Pentadrones, 80 Quadrones, 405 Tridrones, 1,280 Duodrones, and 8,640 Monodrones. This is a specialized troop different from the normal Modron armies. Which brings me to my next topic for this video, Modron Armies. I'll be reading a passage from the Modrons, the 3.5 supplement. Because this gave me such a headache to wrap my head around, I can't even attempt to simplify it. I hope you're ready for this, because I'm not. I'm going to put a diagram on screen that I made to simplify this a little bit, but without further ado, here's the passage. The Modrons maintain 36 great armies, each a powerful fighting force in its own right. One is stationed at each of the 16 regions of Regulus, and each Secundus maintains 2 armies in addition to its regional forces. 3 armies are assigned to the Tertians to aid them with law enforcement and punishment, and the remaining 9 armies serve Primus directly. One of these acts as the official tower guard, the other 8 are available as a reserve force for dispatch as needed. Each army is commanded by a Hexton and comprises of 4 corps, each commanded by 40 Pentadrones in constant telepathic contact with the Hexton general. Every corps has 2 divisions, each led by 20 Pentadrones. Every division has 4 brigades, each led by 10 Pentadrones, and every brigade has 4 regiments, each led by 5 Pentadrones. The regiment is the standard tactical unit of the Modron army. It consists of 2 battles, each led by 4 quadrones, plus a squad of winged monodrone messengers and a special squad of 12 pentadrones. A battle comprises 6 regular companies of monodrones, 2 regular companies of duodrones, a special company of tridrones, a squad of quadrones, and another squad of messengers. A company consists of 12 squads, each with 12 troops and a non-commissioned officer called an NCO, and 3 officers. Each of the 8 regular companies in a regiment is further divided into 2 wings plus a headquarters unit. Special units of messengers, shock troops, and the like may also be attached to a company's headquarters. In all, a standard regiment consists of 70 officers, 192 NCOs, 252 messengers, 2,628 line troops, for a total of 3,142 Modrons. Despite the regimented order of their armies, Modrons do not fare as well in war as other planar beings. When it comes to combat and the sheer cruelty that often accompanies warfare, Modrons usually come out the losers. That is the end of the passage. Now, keep in mind, the numbers that were listed there as the 3,142 Modrons, that is just for one regiment, just a standard regiment. And a regiment is the standard tactical unit, and that just, as you can see from the chart, there's a lot of them involved. So battling one army of Modrons can be quite difficult. So if there is ever a need for the players to go to Regulus, and if they ever do get in trouble there, and if they are ever brought to fighting, let alone one regiment, opposed to a whole army, they're going to have many, many troubles, especially if they're not incredibly high levels. Alright, and that is it for today's video on the Modrons. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos like this. I have more March of the Modrons to come, and then we'll see what comes after that. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!